Hi everyone. Habaragani NIA. So today is day 5 of Kwanzaa, and NIA is purpose. So today's spread focuses entirely on purpose, and we're looking very specifically at personal purpose, ancestral purpose, and collective purpose. The consecutive questions are how to take action on those, and then finally about best ways to build and develop community. So the spread is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's what I've got laid out here, although I doubt it's all coming across on camera. I suppose I could move these guys up here and that would give me space. Yeah, there we go. That's maybe a little bit better. So, I'm late. I'm so late today getting my reading in. The day took on a character that I did not anticipate, and my partner Tom needed some help with his purpose. He's getting his website and his social media accounts prepared for the new year to launch, with his pottery and his artwork. So that can be a real mess in your own head sometimes, in your own headspace, when you're working on that and you can't see the forest for the trees. So I was able to help him see the forest and took care of a few of the trees. So there we are. So position 1 is my personal purpose. So this one made me laugh out loud. So my personal purpose is the Fool. It's being a seeker. It's continuing to seek spiritual knowledge, to dive straight into the abyss, find out everything I can about the occult, about all of it. It's so funny. All of these spreads this week have matched with the Vedic astrology reading that Julianne Victoria did for me for my birthday. It's really striking. And it's kind of reiterating a lot of what I feel I know, but as we'll see in the next position, it's what scares me, right? So position 2, my next step in actioning my personal purpose, came out as the 9 of Swords. And this, of course, carries all the meaning of the usual 9 of Swords, but what I really love about it is that it's like, this guy's here in the bed that this person should be sleeping in, saying, when are you going to get past your fears, your worries, your hang-ups, your intellectual over-rationalizing of everything? When are you just going to let go of that? When could you just drop it and move on, move forward? So I feel like my next step here in actioning my personal purpose is just, and it's not a heavy amount, it's just letting go of any of those last traces of any anxiety and worry that I have around that. I feel like the rest of the spread sort of helps outline the ways in which those fears, or what am I saying? Big brain fart. I feel like the rest of the spread helps me kind of look at how, because of course my worry, what's my worry? There we go. What's my worry? My worry would be like, oh no, how would I support myself? You can't just go through life being a seeker. But actually carrying out the other purposes, it kind of leaves you knowing it's all going to be okay. And when I look at the other spreads this week, it's reiterated there as well. It's going to be very interesting. I really do need to take all the photos and print them and lay them out in the journal and really look at them and spend some time. Because there is a definite pattern that's emerging here, which is wonderful. So, position 3, my ancestral purpose. Again, not a surprise at all. Justice or Kadi. Love that. So It's interesting to me that this is a blind justice in this deck, and there's a reason why this was the card chosen and the deck chosen, right? There always is. Again, it's not looking outward to see what the answers are necessarily, but it's also sensing inward to understand, right? In order to carry that out, I feel. I also feel like there's some, I can't necessarily see the impact of ancestral patterns and injustices, right? The specific ones. But if I'm quiet and I'm still and I just kind of go within, I can definitely sense what they are. I know what they would be. I can intuit and understand them in order to know how to balance them. And yet, how can I honor and respect my ancestral purpose? Comes out as the two of discs, or the two of coins. And again, it's interesting because when the two of them are top to bottom, what I immediately see is the two scales and the two discs, and they're even kind of on the same, they're both slanting. So when I look at this, what I see, what this really kind of tells me, because the information in the reading today really feels like it's just talking directly to me. And I should say too, these were all jumpers today. Every one of these cards, except maybe the final one, they were all jumpers. The two of discs, I'm seeing people holding a balance, right? The balance between walking your path with others. There's a sense of maybe some multitasking. And I also feel like it's seeing all the different factors that are involved in a person being able to walk their path. So what are all the factors? What are all the things that affect? What are all the conditions? There we go. What are the conditions that affect a person's ability to walk their path? How is that path impacted? And then what could be done? What could be pointed out? What could be acted upon in order to help bring greater balance to that? So, and that's actually something I used to spend a lot of time working on when I was still teaching in colleges and universities. I spent a lot of time working on, working on diversity initiatives and making things fairer for students. Just seeing where people are, and then figuring out what can I do to help that student, that group of students, that particular situation, whatever it may be, align itself in a way that's fair and reasonable for everyone involved. And people frequently asked my opinion about making those kinds of decisions because they believed and trusted that I might be able to offer insights that would be helpful. So I feel like a lot of times this involves, offering advice or being an advisor to other people. But I've seen, I've obviously been directly involved in things as well. Position 5, my collective purpose. This was interesting. The Ace of Discs. This one flew out of the deck and literally into my hand. It's interesting. So here's it's an unusual interpretation I'm about to offer here, and I don't know that it'll make sense to anyone but me, but then there we are. If you are interested at all in human design, or you know anything about human design, I found out a little over a year ago that my particular human design type is a manifester. And manifestors, they manifest things. They bring things into being. They, the throat chakra is what's most active because, you speak the word and the thing appears, right? The physical, the way to physical manifestation is very much, it's like the magician. It's speaking the word. When I see this disc, it's like the pie in the sky, no pun intended. It's not manifest yet. It's being able to envision, see what's needed, see what could be done, and then speak it, right? Or, figure out what the action is that's needed in order for that to take place. So this for me is about envisioning what could be made real, identifying the things that could be manifested and made real. It kind of not necessarily like things that are, that's entirely future focused, but how do we take a principle, an idea, a need, a thing, right? How do you get a project started? How do you do those things and then make them happen, right? They start as this and then they manifest into the physical realm. And that's a very specific image for me. That this is also how the Tibetans function. It's the way I've always thought of things, that until things are made real, they're sort of hang in the air above the space where they're going to show up. So on some level, my collective purpose is about helping identify those things, maybe helping to manifest those things. The next card, which is 6, is, my next step in actioning my collective purpose. Stillness, peace. And this card came up the other day as well, in a position that should have been active as well, similarly. My next step in actioning my collective purpose is to be quiet, to go within, to be peaceful, to be present, really to hold space, to hold non-judgmental space. And I wonder how much, this I'm still parsing out. I'm still parsing this out. I may ask for some clarifiers on this one. But it makes, I don't know how to, how about this? I don't know how to verbalize it, but it totally makes sense to me. Does that work? Can we work with that? Sometimes that's how it has to go. It's hard to verbalize. Or maybe part of it is my collective purpose becomes clear when I'm peaceful. And that's actually true. I actually feel that deeply. Yeah. And there's always a balance, right? 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. It's holding space, seeing both sides, and really walking that middle path. And being impartial, being fair. Which is one thing to think about. It's another thing to walk that path. It's a very, very different thing to actually have to do it. And that's really hard. That's really hard. A final card, how can I best help build and develop my community? This is wonderful. The Malika of Cups. So the Queen of Cups. Through compassion, through sharing of compassion, through unrequited, or not unrequited, what am I saying? The kind of love that's, I'm really struggling with words today. The kind of love that is impartial. I don't know why I can't think of that word. But the kind of, that, I'm sure everybody knows what I mean. The kind of compassion that comes without any strings attached and is just offered freely. Here's my heart, come take it. It's all yours. you know, to love freely, to love openly, gently, and with a big smile and lots of laughing. Because that's how I do things. So, yeah, I can help build my community too by celebrating it, right? Cups are about celebration. They're about sharing. They're about offering, you know, offer my heart, offer my love, my compassion, my support, hold space for it. So, yeah, and that feels completely in harmony with what I do and how I view the world. So this is a very a really affirming spread this year. Very affirming. So thank you once again to Queen Auset and to Veronica Rose and to everyone participating. I haven't been as active in participating in everyone else's Kwanzaa spreads. It's kind of had to compete with some other things that have been going on over here the last few days, but I do see them and I do watch the videos wherever I can. Taking it in and actually commenting on it is a different discussion, and I'm not somebody who can really, I can't comment on stuff if I haven't really watched. And I know some people feel okay with that, and that's fine. I just can't. I'd rather watch, take in, see it, be impartial, love everyone through that, you know, through the screen, and say nothing than just show up in order to just, you know, be seen, you know. But I am seeing them, and I'm enjoying and loving them all. So thanks, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 6. Habaragani, Nia. Bye.